Hey cuties, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I wanted to share the results of me being on carb cycling for 1 week. So stay tuned. Life is a one. So if you watched one of my last videos, you know that I wanted to try to do carb cycling for 1 week. And I gave it a full 1 week, 7 days. I weighed myself before and after. So stay tuned at the end. I'm going to share if I lost any weight and if I'll do this carb cycling again. So I have a few notes. I just didn't want to forget anything. So if you see me looking down, I'm just looking at my notes. So I'm happy to have you here today. I am just going to go through some of the positives and the negatives of what I thought about carb cycling. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to start with the positives. Number one, I definitely had an increase in energy for sure, even on the higher carb days. I don't know if it's kind of left over from the high protein days, because typically my energy seems to come a little more with following a lower carb diet. So that was definitely a positive. And positive number two is it definitely made me more aware of the amount of carbs I was eating in a day and the amount of carbs in certain items that I had no idea. For example, a banana. Oh my gosh, I should have written it down. I was shocked at how many carbs a banana has. And I know if you're a diabetic or anything like that, if you have trouble with sugar, they say not to eat bananas, but I just had no idea. So this definitely made me aware because I'm tracking it on my FitnessPal. So I see how many carbs each item has. It's amazing how many carbs a banana has. Look it up if you're interested. So I just wanted to say also, I continued everything I talked about in one of my last videos. I did the HIIT training. I still did my chair yoga and my strength training. And I did my meditation, my collagen, and I did drink lemon water every morning. So I just wanted that to be clear that I did follow those things, even though I changed up my routine for the week as far as food. And I think we should move on to the negatives. Unfortunately, I think there's like 3 more negatives than there were positives, but I'm going to go over them for myself. This is all my opinion. For one thing, or the first thing is, I felt a little obsessed about tracking my food. I wanted to constantly be aware of how many carbs I was eating. So it almost got to be obsessive how many times I was checking the app and making sure I was either getting enough protein or too many carbs, or it became a little obsessive, which I didn't like because I feel like diet culture, as much as I love WW, I feel like that was sort of the same thing. It was like you're constantly just thinking about food and what to eat. And so that was kind of a negative for me. And not that I don't already think about it, but it was sort of like every 5 seconds I'm checking the app, and it just, I don't know. It was a lot for me. And number two, the carb levels were a little low on those higher protein days, and it was really hard to follow. I followed it. I think I put in for myself, it was like 55 carbs per day, which to me is pretty low. It was hard to follow because, of course, as I mentioned, I am eating fruits and vegetables, which have carbs in them. So even on my high protein days or low carb days, it was really, really hard to kind of not go over those carbs, eating fruits and vegetables. So that's just something for you guys to be aware of. And let me know if you've ever done carb cycling. I'd love to know, because for me, this was completely new, a completely new thing I had never heard of. So, and number 3 is on my high carb days, or the higher carb days, I felt like I ate a little too many carbs just to kind of get to that amount that I could have. which I'm sure is not the point of this carb cycling. But the cravings kind of came back and I was right there again wanting more carbs if I was eating them. So that was a kind of a downer for me, or a negative. It may not work that way for everybody, but that's what it did for me. Let's see. Yeah, that was the other thing. Kind of already said it. On the high carb days, my cravings definitely kicked in. Even though I was eating more healthy carbs, it kicked in a little bit, and I was a little nervous. Like by the end of the night, I was kind of feeling like I could have carbs that weren't so good for me. So that was definitely a negative for me. Again, this might not happen for everyone. This was just my experience, the kind of positives and negatives. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. So I weighed myself and I lost 2.2 pounds in 7 days of carb cycling, including those exercises I was doing and the lemon water meditation, the collagen, all of those things. And by the way, I really had to have collagen every day to get my protein levels up there. The collagen I use, as I have shown in previous videos, has 18 grams of protein. So I really needed that to kind of make it to my protein levels that they suggested for my weight on carb cycling. So my thought about the weight loss, I didn't really think that was too significant. And I know some people would say, oh, 2.2 pounds, that's great. But for me, as you can see, I'm a bigger girl. And I really think the way I was eating, I really should have lost a little bit more. So I'm thinking maybe the carbs were a little too high on those high carb days, or higher carb days. Sorry, I keep saying higher. So I just don't think it was for me. So I don't think I'm going to do this again. I gave it my full attention, my full kind of try for exactly 1 week. So I just don't think it was for me. I may try it again down the line. Again, it kind of makes you hyper aware of the kinds of carbs that foods have, like how high they are in carbs. So yeah, that was a good thing, I guess, because it made me really aware of some of the things that I thought weren't so bad were actually really high in carbs. So what I'm going to do for next week, I am going to give myself another week challenge. I am going to actually just do 7 days of lower carbs. Again, I've mentioned before in some previous videos, and I'll link those in the description so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I think my body reacts very well to lower carbs, just kind of consistently across the board. So for the next 7 days, I am going to follow a lower carb diet. And I did a little research about what I should be having for my weight and being a female. So I am going to settle on, for this next week, 100 grams of carbs and not to go over that. And between 140 and 150 grams of protein, which is a lot. What I think I'm going to do is, of course, I keep track on MyFitnessPal very, very easily. I'm going to get as close as I can to that protein number. I feel like for me, 100 grams of protein in a day is pretty good, but I'm going to try to up that a little bit. I'm really going to work on that. I'm not going to go crazy. I don't want to get obsessive about it, like I talked about earlier. I just kind of want to be more aware. And during this 7-day challenge, I, of course, am going to stick to my HIIT training, my chair yoga, my strength training. And by the way, I found a really good chair yoga workout. And if I can link the video, or at least put the name of the woman who does the chair yoga, it's really good. I kind of went through a few that I was like, okay, but this one was really good. So I'll put the information in the description. I'm going to continue to meditate. I really enjoy meditation. Sometimes it's a matter of 7 minutes. I sit in the morning after I drink my lemon water and just quickly do a meditation. Sometimes it's 10 minutes. I think I stick around that amount of time that seems feasible for me. And it really just relaxes you. You get some deep breathing in. So it feels really good. I'm definitely going to continue that. I'm going to continue drinking the collagen in my coffee or tea. And of course, like I said, the lemon water. So I am going to do another updated video when I finish this 7-day challenge. And I'm hoping for a little bit higher of a weight loss, of course. My increased energy, I hope, will continue. And I'm really going to strive for that 140 to 150 grams of protein. I may have to find another source of protein to kind of add. So of course, the Greek yogurt I eat has a lot of protein in it, which is great. I did notice that meat is much higher in protein than I expected. I don't know why. And it seems like beef has a lot more protein than I thought. I don't eat a lot of beef, but yeah, it was really interesting. Pork and chicken, of course, but I just was really surprised about that. I don't know why, but there you go. So I'm trying to incorporate, I eat a lot of salads for lunch, and of course I always have to have a protein. So I kind of stick with chicken and cheese, but cheese is very high in fat, of course. And I feel like it doesn't have as much protein as you think it does, but yeah, so I might have to look for some kind of higher protein options, but also I don't want to kind of ingest those fake protein sources such as protein drinks. I was looking at one today, and I'm not going to say the name, but the first ingredient was potatoes. I thought that was really, really strange because of course potatoes are high in carbs. So I kind of want to stick with the more natural ways to get my protein. So we'll see. And I hope you check out the next video where I'm going to give you an update. I might share what I eat maybe in a day, in a week, doing this lower carb, just to give you some meal ideas maybe if you're interested. So let me know if you're going to do this challenge with me or if you tried the carb cycling. I would love to know. I want to hear people's opinions about it and see what your experience was if you did do it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And I really loved having you here, and subscribe if you're interested in these kinds of videos or cook with me or what I eat in a day. And my new thing is low carb, typically. Grocery hauls, that's my new favorite thing to do. So I hope you subscribe, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon.